Right now, we are looking at the ability to turn this into sound booth. Alright, starting at second 10. So we are looking right now, and we are looking currently at the wheel guard system. And so what this is you can see right now at the front, the floor, kind of like a cube almost, but not quite. It's been custom designed. On the front side is where it is the smaller, and on the back side is the bigger part with the rail that can be slid into it. And so the really nice piece about this is that we were able to take and not just be able to mold plastic to make this shape, but we were actually able to design the plastic inside the 3D to where it would actually print the exact way we needed it to. So like having these mounting holes in the correct spot so that it lined perfectly up. So all we have to do is just slide it in and stick a couple screws in it and it works. Being able to print it with being able to have the strength and the rigidness of it. And so we can slide over, we look at the wall right here. And this wall piece is just simply a little guard to help keep blocks from going into our robot's operating area. It is really simple, just a little, basically it's a slab of plastic. But the nice part about it is that we don't have to worry about drilling or anything like that. There's already holes pre-made, pre-done. It's really easy. We can get this curve in there that you can see. That makes it really, really easy to be able to just slap it on, slide it in, stick a screw in it, call it done. So, I mean, that adds a lot of time that we can spend in other places, and so it saves a lot of time. And so if we go back and we can look at how that interfaces with our wheel guard, because the deal with this is setting up a whole line of defense for our robot. And so you can see that that right there is the exact dimension predefined inside of the program as what is on the wheel guard. And so right now we just switched over and we're looking at the NXT mount, which was the first thing that we started with and have done many different trial and error and remaking it. So what you're looking at right now is the final product for Stark Industries robot Jarvis Mark III. And the 3D planner here at Placer has been able to make it so that we were able to test designs on it and get a going model and be able to use it. And even now, a finished product that works indispensably. I mean, there's no way that we can manufacture this. The ability of making these geometrical shapes and everything else, making it as smooth, beveling out all these edges and everything else like that, pre-designing these holes but still keeping the whole thing solid. This ability to modify everything, and there is no other way to really do it. Being able to get these holes inside of there for the Lego connection that takes place. This is for a Lego NXT Mindstorm. And the idea is that you put that in the center spot right here, and then it adheres to the robot via screwing it in. And so you can also see one of the really powerful things and really cool things is due to the fact that it is very accurate in the way that it prints, you can put this text on there, and the text allows for everything to be read and other things like that. And so we're just kind of going to a little trick that we just made today. And so it's somewhat very detailed, and you can kind of see in the top left, it actually is supposed to be an arc reactor from the show and movie Iron Man. And so again, the detail that you're able to produce with this is very good, very nice, considering that this whole thing is approximately right around the 3-inch range from one side to the other. I was able to measure out a AAA and make a component on the backside that does the AAA. And so all of this, you're able to get to very finite detail, being able to do everything that is correct and to the proper scale. And so what we're going to do right now is we're just going to run you through kind of real quick basics of doing 3D modeling. And again, I'm using the program that's called Autodesk Inventor. And it's really nice as Autodesk has given it actually out for free for students, but otherwise it's kind of a pricey thing. But it is very powerful, very nice, very easy to use. So just kind of showing is, again, this is the wheel guard. And so we start off and we just made one side. make another side. We make another side, we make another side, and we cap these. And then using the extrusion method, we're able to make this into basically a hollow square. And so with this, though, because of how the sketch and everything else like that, it's not just quite a square as much as you can see I've already got that beveled angle in that I need. It's already the correct dimensions on the sides and in the front and everything else. Then we go and let me see, and we finish off making it to the proper dimensions. So you did it 100% correct. Once we do that step, we move on to getting to some of the more finite details. Do a couple of these bezels, edges, and everything else like that, adding the support piece in. On that corner you can kind of see it's a little bit bigger to make it stronger. And then we add in this cube, which is for holding in that sidewall again, right? It doesn't really seem like that much right now, but when we go through, and we can extrude this little slotch in it, that is the exact dimension that we need. And so that dimension there will allow us to be able to just slide that in. And it's amazing how well it works. And so you can kind of see, we make a sketch. And in this sketch, we then pull into the third dimension. And in this particular case, we're pulling it through a pre-existing wall, making that section of the wall actually disappear. And so I'm able to take this very complex, very somewhat hard to do sketch, and actually, instead of just being able to draw it, I'm actually able to turn that into a usable thing. And so using the proper dimensions and everything else. And the other way, this would take hours of just manual labor, marking where they go and using a drill press, and you're still not going to have the accuracy that you would with this 3D printer. This 3D printer has saved hours and hours of time and calculations. Being able. So just kind of one quick example on how this kind of works is, we just bring in a solid shape. We start modifying it. We add our holes to it, and then we extrude that little oval off. And so that's just kind of a really quick example. And so then we come to the NXT mount, which is actually, it's two different components that are stuck together as one thing. They interconnect, and so with the ability of this is it takes a lot of the guesswork out. Having to use a file after file after file allows us to just draw it, make it accurate, to scale 100% inside of any of the different programs, whether it's SolidWorks, Adobe, or Autodesk Inventor, any of these 3D modeling programs. And so you're able to get it exact and correct. And so I can take this and legitimately print it and be done. So let's go ahead and show you actually that printer and how that works.
So here we are on hour 12 of printing the NXT mount, both sides of it. So actually it's more like hour 13. It's almost done. It's right around 90%. It was going all night last night as it was going. This machine is amazing and awesome that we're able to do that. So much capabilities of it. The accuracy of it is fantastic, and as you can see, right now it's already finished printing the text that you will see in a little bit. And you can see all the support material right now that is holding up all of the texts. And the way that this printer prints has been a blessing with how it's able to print the support material in such a way that it allows the model to be built accurately and very, very detailed. So this process is a little bit boring to watch, as it is just laying micron layer by micron layer of plastic down and building on top of it. So right here is the first iteration on this printer, and so you can kind of see that we did end up changing how it was mounted, if you can remember from the 3D view of it. We also changed and rearranged some of the text. And, it takes about 12 to 13 hours for this thing to print, but it's definitely worth it when you only have to spend about an hour modifying and modifying again, and you're able to perfect it and get it down in scale. So that's kind of what it looks like. And this is the other. So, yeah, it definitely is a big help, and it definitely has caused for a lot of learning to take place, both in how plastics are done, 3D design, and opening that whole venue to me as well as many others. And so it's just been a huge gift, so thank you. Here are those wheel guards. They have just had a coat of paint put on them. And so here's all 4 of them. So let's go ahead and look at this one. And so you can see our holes here. And of course, so this is the actual physical thing, and it doesn't look that much different as it did from what it did inside of the program, which I think is just amazing. One thing that this camera isn't really showing is you can't quite see the layer of thickness, but so that is them. That is all 4 of them, and it's just fantastic. It saves a lot of time, and I'll actually show you what these are replacing here. So yeah, those we'll be getting one more coat so you don't see any more white. That right there is the NXT, in case you're wondering. Have a good one. Thank you for watching.